Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are taking a deep dive into an AI writing tool called Lex. It's making some serious waves right now, mostly because of this absolutely wild lifetime deal that's out there. So the big question we're tackling today is, could this actually be the ultimate alternative to those expensive tools we all know, like Grammarly? Let's get into it.
You know, if you're a writer, a blogger, a student, heck, anyone who has to create content on a regular basis, you know the struggle. There's this cycle of challenges you face pretty much every single day, and it can be super frustrating, not to mention expensive.
And this right here, this is what the source material boils it all down to. It's this perfect, frustrating trifecta. First up, you've got writer's block, that dreaded blank page just staring back at you. Then there's the mental gymnastics of trying to keep your tone consistent. And finally, the big one, that constant nagging feeling of high subscription costs draining your bank account every month or year. This is the exact problem we're looking to solve.
So, with that problem laid out so clearly, a new contender has basically just entered the ring. And its name is Lex. It's a tool specifically designed to take on that entire trifecta head-on.
So what is Lex exactly? Well, at its heart, it's a document editor. But it's really built on two huge ideas. First, a super minimalist, distraction-free design that just helps you focus on the words. And second, AI that's woven deeply into the experience, so it works with you, not against you.
Okay, and this is the slide that's got everyone talking. $19. And no, that's not per month, it's not per year. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access to all its pro features. This ridiculously low price is exactly why so many people are suddenly paying very, very close attention to this tool.
Look, a cheap price tag is useless if the app is a pain to use, right? Well, Lex goes in the complete opposite direction. The source actually calls its design aggressively distraction-free. It's super fast, there's literally nothing to install, and you can just open it up and start writing. And that's not a bug, it's a feature. It's for writers who want to focus on writing, not on a million different buttons and menus.
So a clean interface and a killer price are great, but what about the actual AI? Let's get to the real meat of it. How does it actually work? Because this is where things get really interesting and different.
This right here is the game changer. Instead of highlighting text, finding a button, opening up some sidebar, you just type /. That's it. The AI comes right to you. Inside your document, it just becomes part of your typing. It doesn't break your flow.
All right, so does it actually hold up in a real-world test? Well, the source material put it through its paces with this really dense technical paragraph about solar cells. We're talking N-type and P-type silicon layers, you know, the kind of jargon that makes most people's eyes glaze over. And this is where the magic happens. Right underneath that super technical text, a simple command was just typed out in plain English. There's no complicated code or syntax you have to learn. You just talk to it. You tell it what you want, which is incredibly intuitive.
So what happened? Well, it absolutely nailed it. And what's really key here is that the AI didn't just swap out a few synonyms. It actually understood the core ideas, it kept the context, and it totally shifted the tone. It even used a simple analogy comparing the cell to a battery, which, wow, that shows a really sophisticated level of understanding.
Okay, so the tech is cool, it's smart, it's fast, and the workflow is great. But let's circle back to that lifetime deal for a second. Does the financial math really, truly hold up?
First things first, let's be super clear about what Lex is and what it isn't. This is not trying to be a direct Grammarly clone. Lex is all about the beginning of your writing process. Drafting, brainstorming, getting over that writer's block. Grammarly really shines at the end of the process, when you're polishing an almost finished draft. They're solving two different but equally important problems.
Now, let's just look at the raw numbers because, wow, the economic argument is pretty staggering. You have $19 one time for Lex, and you compare that to about $180 every single year for Grammarly Premium. You save over $160 in the first year alone. Financially, it's not even in the same ballpark. So we've looked at the features, we've seen how it performs, and we've talked about the price. Let's pull all of this together for a final verdict. And more importantly, let's figure out if this tool is the right fit for you.
Look, no tool's a silver bullet, right? So let's get real about the pros and cons here. On the pro side, it's obvious. The value is just unbeatable. You've got that amazing distraction-free UI and a really powerful integrated AI.
But on the flip side, it's not going to give you those super deep stylistic grammar checks that a tool like Grammarly will. There's no mobile app yet, and like any AI, you still need a human to give the final output a once-over.
So who is this deal an absolute no-brainer for? Well, if you're a blogger staring at a blank WordPress page, or a student trying to outline an essay, or maybe a content creator who just needs to get that first draft done without signing up for another monthly subscription, this thing is basically built for you.
You know, when you really step back and look at it, this isn't just about saving a few bucks on another app. The real story here is about a pretty fundamental shift in how we write. A tool like Lex positions AI not as a separate spell checker you run at the very end, but as a true copilot that's integrated into every single keystroke right from the very beginning.
And that really brings us to the final thought for today. It's less about this one specific tool, and it's more about the future of writing itself. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. Is your own workflow ready for an integrated AI partner?